Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today's video probably be a little boring, but at least we get out and we get to do a little driving on this one. So I'm going to tell you guys about this car behind me, car I just picked up. It is my 2008 Mazda Speed3, and truthfully I just thought there was just like a Mazda 3. I didn't know that there was a Speed3, but apparently the Speed3 it has a turbocharger on it, which does make the car quite spunky, I will admit. Kind of walk around it. It's not perfect. It's got some dings. It's got some paint issues. But overall, it shows pretty well. I mean, it's got like a ding there, if you can see that. It's got that little mark right there. But, I mean, overall, it is a pretty clean little car. So you guys really didn't get to see the other car, but I had a 2005 Ford Focus. Picked it up from a buddy of mine. He had picked it up because it had some Roush upgrades. He thought he was going to turn it and make some money on it. I think he kind of got in a little over his head on it or whatever. But anyway, he needed to sell it quick, so he sold it to me. I bought it just for kind of the novelty type thing, and I put it out there for trade. I think I bought it for like $5 grand. I put it out there for like $6,500, thinking if I could make $1,000, great. Guy hits me up from the Bay Area. He's got this car, sends me pictures, asks me if I'm interested in trading. I say yeah, primarily because of this. It's a 4-door. The Focus was a 2-door, and I really wanted a 4-door. Obviously, a 4-door is much nicer to have when you have a child. So I said, sure, why not? We met up. I drove his. He drove mine. I liked it. He liked the Focus, so we went ahead and did the trade. I brought it home, and then the drama began. And before we talk about the drama, let me show you in the inside of the car and kind of show you. It is very clean inside. Everything seems to work on it. Air conditioning blows cold, stereo sounds good, light signals, everything like that. I know it's always dark in here, so it's kind of hard to tell, but the interior is really clean. There's no rips or stains or anything like that. Very well kept. So with this car, I went on ahead and I had Eddie do an oil change on it because it kind of sounded like it had some thinner oil on it. It's got a little bit of a rattle in the engine that I hear when it's warmed up. It's not too bad, but we went ahead and put some additive in and some thicker oil, and that seems to have quietened it down a little bit. Still hear it a little bit, but it's not nearly as bad. And then Eddie said, we're going to need new tires, so I took it down to Jesse. He put 4 new tires on it, then realized a couple of the rims were bent, had to replace those. Then of course it needed a front end alignment and shocks. So yeah, I've kind of gotten into this car a little bit deeper than I had anticipated getting into it. Then I take it through a car wash right after I get it back and get everything together. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to wash it, I'm going to put gas in it, I'm going to drive it, and I'm going to enjoy this car. And I get up to about 50 miles an hour, and I hear like this humming. It's almost like a tire separating or maybe wheel bearings or something like that, and I can't figure out what it is. And the faster I go, the worse it gets. So send it back to Jesse. He had it for a couple of days. He couldn't figure it out. He had a couple of people in on it. They couldn't figure it out, and I'll show you what it was. Very simple fix. This thing right here. This thing, when I went through the car wash, had flipped back and was laying backwards. So when I got home, I just took it off. I thought, I don't need it, I don't want it, I'm fine without it, and I won't have to worry about it when I go through the car wash. And lo and behold, what happens is, at speed, this starts vibrating around just enough, back and forth, and just enough that it makes a little bit of a hum, and yeah, that was the problem. So, those that don't know about these cars, which I still don't know very much about these cars, it's a 2.3 or 2.4 liter 4-cylinder. I don't know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. It's turbocharged. It makes like 260 horsepower, about the same in torque, and it is spirited. I tell you, once you hit boost, you really know it. It moves very well. I thought my Kia Optima was pretty fast and pretty spirited driver, but this thing is probably a little bit quicker than that. Not as quick as a Taurus, but it goes, and it's a lot of fun. And it's a 6-speed manual, which I guess is the way all these cars came, so I do kind of like that. Normally I like to have an automatic as my daily driver, and this is going to be my daily driver until further notice. But you know, it does make it fun, and for running around here and everything like that, it's fine. I enjoy it. It shifts nice. It's got a fairly new clutch. The timing chain was done like, I don't know, 50,000 miles ago. It's got a list of receipts and stuff like that in there, that things that were done to the car over the years. The only problem really with this car is, I guess they suffered from the second gear knockout, whereas when you're in second gear, if you let off the gas, it'll pop out of second gear. A lot of them do it. I don't know why they do it. Apparently someone tried to fix this at one point in time because there's receipts in there for that, but it didn't fix it, or it started doing it again. So you just got to learn how to drive it. It's not really a big deal. If you know what you're doing, you can remember it, but it is a little annoying if you don't remember. So anyway, I'm just going to start it up. We're going to take it around the block, drive it really quick, show you what it's like, and then, yeah, that'll be it. We'll wrap the video up. That'll be it. Okay, are you guys ready for this? Are you ready? Are you sure? Ooh. Now, I'm not sure if it has like aftermarket exhaust or not. To me, it sounds a little bit more aggressive than I would expect from a stock exhaust system, but guy I got it from said he thought it was pretty stock. I don't know how long he had it, but you know, it sounds like it might have something, but it's not that bad. It's not loud, it's not obnoxious. I was actually going to say, oh, if the car's warmed up, I can take it out and step into it a little bit right away, but it's not. It has been a few hours since I've driven it, so it's cooled down. So the temperature's coming back up, so should be able to get on a little bit here. Now, as I said, it's turbocharged 4-cylinder. I know it's just a little, I think, north of 260 horsepower. And this car would really benefit from being all-wheel drive. It's front-wheel drive, and this car is the definition of torque steer. It has a lot of torque steer. That is one thing I really think Mazda should have made it all-wheel drive. It would have been much better, but it would have also been more expensive, so I get that. You know, interior is nice. Like I said, this thing is really in very good shape. Very, very good shape for, what, a 14, almost 15-year-old car. I'm doing the math right, yeah, 15-year-old car. And it's nice to drive. It is enjoyable to drive. It shifts through the gears nicely. It's nice having that 6-speed. Cruise control even works, which is important for me because I do like my cruise control. And you know, it's kind of cool. I've got something that's fun to drive. Got room for the kiddo in the back. Got a decent sized trunk. It's not big, it's not huge, but it's decent size. And I still got something that's relatively spunky if I want to get into it or get onto the traffic, pass a car or something like that. It goes pretty good. Let's see. Thing with the torque steer, I want to make sure there's no one really coming in the other direction. And cool, there's not. So it scoots out pretty good. And there it did pretty well. Now, one thing I will say, with these cars, boost comes on about 3,000 RPM. But after about 6,000 RPM, there's no sense in taking it beyond that. I've done it a couple of times, and it's not worth it. You get nothing. It just kind of falls on its face after about 6. So 3,000 to 6,000 RPM is really the sweet spot, and that's where it's fun. See, we're definitely spinning there. So yeah, I mean, she goes very nicely, but definitely if you have one of these, you get to drive one of these, make sure that you got a lot of road in front of you and that nobody's coming the other way. That would be my suggestion, because it does kind of want to take you off in the other lane. Now, you can drive it very normal, put it through the gears, which we'll go down here, I'll show you, and it drives just very nicely. But you will feel when boost kicks in, it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, it wakes up. And really, this is kind of where it's fun. It's just cruising it through the gears, moderate acceleration. I mean, I'm in 5th gear, I'm doing about 65 right now, tacking about 3,000 RPM, and just drop it into 6th gear, drops down to about 2,200, and it's all good. It's fun. So this is the new daily driver, and I'm thinking that I might stick it up for sale. Maybe if I can get my money back out of it where I'm at, I might go ahead and let it go.